Philly Pecha Kucha, number 7, first one in 2011. As you all take your seats, I am happy to introduce Kishore and Gino from Talkadelphia, and they will be speaking to us on the same topic.
Hello, my name is Kishore and this is my boyfriend, Gino Marica, and we host a weekly podcast called Talkadelphia. We interview folks in and around Philadelphia. And in case you don't know, a podcast is an audio or video show that you can download from the internet. And that's our logo right there. It's brand new. We just designed it.
So when I said we were going to start at the beginning, this isn't really what I was thinking about. But you can see here, me in my Superman outfit growing up in the Philippines, and there's Kishore in her pink dress. But basically, this is what Talkadelphia is about. It's just me and her. It's a two-person operation, and we just decided one day to start interviewing people and putting it on the internet.
So it all began on Twitter. One day after listening to Terry Gross interview jazz musician DJ Iyer on her show Fresh Air, I tweeted, I want to do a podcast. How do I do this? And who wants to be interviewed? And the response was overwhelming.
And you can see here the date was October 14th. So that's the genesis. And right after that, she disturbed me in class on GChat and started talking about it. And so again, this was October 14th. This was 3 days before our first interview. And we just started talking about what we could do, the segments, what equipment we needed, basically how we were going to do it. So that's the actual GChat conversation.
Then we went on a hunt for the perfect microphone, and we found an omnidirectional tripod mic, a blue snow, that we lovingly named Marvin. Anyone know where the name Marvin is from? Yes. Perfect. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And that's where we came with the name. Looks exactly like it.
And so for our first interview, I basically booked DJ J. Gus and took it to the Talkadelphia studios. And what that actually means is I dragged my roommate to my bedroom, which we call the Talkadelphia studios. And we basically talked for 45 minutes just about music. And so that was how it all started. And that was episode 1.
For our second episode, we begged Eric Smith, founder of Geekadelphia.com and author of Textual Healing, for an interview. We barged into his apartment, commandeered his couch, and we had a great interview with him about literature, blogging. He's a prolific local blogger and author.
And he also presented here before for
last
Geekadelphia.
year.
And so in order to appeal to some of the Philadelphia sports fans, I talked to 2 local sports bloggers, Carrie Smith, who blogs for Philadelphia.com, and Jason Brewer, who blogs for BleedingGreenNation.com, and we talked about the Eagles and the Sixers, and well, there was a lot more to talk about for the Eagles, but we talked about that.
And for our fourth episode, we brought in Conrad Benner from FilthyBlog.com and street fashion photographer for Frequency.com, and we got him to talk about fall and winter fashion, which was fun. And we also brought in 3 friends to review DreamWorks Megamind, and we had a spirited, semi-drunk, roundtable discussion on the merits or not of 3D movies.
And next came our first unsolicited interview, and we just got an email from this girl named Jody, and she swore she was the lead singer of a band. She swore she heard Talkadelphia and wanted to talk about WMMR's Gobleroo Festival at the TLA, which was coming up. So we talked to her over the phone. She called in from LA, and to this day, I don't believe that she actually heard the podcast.
For the 6th episode, we were contacted by Techlado Magazine, a brand new bi-monthly tech magazine geared towards Hispanics. We had the privilege of interviewing Liz Spickle, that's her on the left, formerly of Philadelphia Weekly, and Mel Gomez, her publisher. And we talked about social media trends, online journalism versus print journalism, and I finally got the chance to gush over my favorite columnist.
And next we interviewed 2 of my friends, Chris and Tien, who within 1 month of getting married opened a nail spa, Zazan Nail Spa in Westchester. And actually the reason we wanted to interview them was for tips on how to work with your significant other without telling them.
Then we invited Drew Laser, associate editor at City Paper, and founder of food blog Meal Ticket, and got him to talk about Philly food. We fed him peanut butter bacon cookies, he did not make, and we got him to give us a list of his 5 favorite Philly dishes. Cheesesteaks were not on that list.
And next we had a special guest. If anybody's heard the podcast, we have a song that starts the beginning and the end. And we talked to Jason Bernabello and Dave Cohen of Ben of Sunlight and their song Bridges off their new CD. starts and ends the podcast. So we talked to them about their recent CD release party at PYT, the WMMR Mistletoe Jam at World Cafe Live, and a lot of music. So this was some art.
Our most recent episode, which came out Monday, featured the mysterious blogger Tipsy Girl, the biggest alcohol snob I know. She brought over absinthe from Philadelphia-based distillery Vieux Carré and quickly got us drunk. Actually, she quickly got me drunk. And then this blogger, who writes for drinkphilly.com and Sagat, told us about her first drinking experience at 12 and her most embarrassing experience involving Kentucky.
And these are just some facts. Since we started in mid-October, we've only had 4 days without a download, and 2 of those days were during a week when we couldn't put an episode out because of law school finals. Oh yeah, we're also in law school. Our most popular show was where we got drunk to talk about a movie, and ironically, our least popular was for Talkadelphia magazine.
And we threatened to break up a lot. So in addition to our podcast, we're currently hard at work at developing a new website for Talkadelphiaradio.com. Here's a sneak preview. It's a little fancier than our old one, and we're hoping to unveil it later this month.
And recently, just last Monday, we actually went to WMMR's Mistletoe Jam at World Cafe Live, and these were 2 people that we had the chance to interview. Jody from the Shakers, and Jason from Bed of Sunlight, and there's Kishore and I, and actually our friend Shruti was good enough to take that picture that night, so that was just a really cool picture we thought we'd throw up there.
And on to the future of Talkadelphia. We've lined up a number of great guests for 2011. Our next episode features Christine Erickson, a local food blogger, so she's actually going to cook for us tomorrow. And we're planning a Philly photographer show, a Philly law professor show, of course. And we've lined up a number of local musicians, theater folks, and local business owners.
But we're still open to ideas, we're still open to feedback, and coming up here, contact information. You can find us on Twitter at Talkadelphia, our website, Talkadelphiaradio.com. You can search for Talkadelphia on iTunes. You can email us, talkadelphia@gmail.com. And we actually have a phone number, although we probably won't pick up. You can leave a voicemail. But if you'd like to be interviewed, if you know anybody you'd like to hear from, please let us know, and please check it out, Talkadelphia.